What's the deal, my people? You know what it is. Don Tony Teflon, the Lady of Lamar. You are listening to and watching the sexiest podcast in the world, the Lady and Don podcast. And this is Lovecraft Country, episode 7. I am review live here on YouTube. And as always, I am with my beautiful co-host, Elamar. How are you?
I am good. It's been a busy day, tiring day, and you made me run. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. No, it's awesome to be here. It's awesome to be here. How are you, Tony?
It's always awesome to be with you, to be with the people that are here repping with us, because we have a lot of people out here in the chat today, and they got here early. Thank you very much for getting out here. Let's give some quick shout outs to the people. As always, the Lord Commander is in the building, AK-47. Linda R is rocking with us right now. Kiki is rocking with us right now. Val, you moved up. Sorry, we'll go back to you, Val. Cracking Tacos is in this building. We got Hard, Lens, Mona. It's Mona. She always changes her name.
And she makes them very, very interesting, but always adds that Mona at the end.
She gotta keep the Mona. She gotta keep the right who she is. Right, we got it. Tamika Brody in the building, rocking with us. Edward Martin is in here with us right now. Kaylee 616 is in here. Jess is in the building with us. Don Lee is rocking with us right now. We got so many people rocking with us. Thank you all for coming and joining us. John Haymaker. We'll get to some more shout outs before it's all said and done and everything else. All right, we'll get right to it in this episode. And Elamar's going to do a live unboxing, she said.
Yes, Tony, thank you for reminding me about that. I didn't check anything outside my door. It was a busy day.
That is all right. That is what it is. All right, so Lovecraft Country, this episode. I had very high expectations for this episode, especially after seeing the trailer. I got a lot of this stuff right that we've seen in here from the promo. And AK-47 got a really big one right too. We're going to talk about all of that when we get in here. So how did this episode live up to expectations for you?
It was okay. It was not my favorite episode, I gotta say. And so is it my echo? Maybe I'm too loud. Let me see. I just want to make sure that I'm not echoing.
I don't hear any echo.
Okay. Just making sure. Sorry. I did not... There were some things I liked about it. Well, a lot of things I liked about it, but there were also a couple of things that I wasn't too thrilled about. But yeah, it was an episode. It was one of the episodes.
That's great. We're gonna get to all that. What you liked, what you didn't like, because listen, not everything is perfect all the time. You know, they don't come up. I thought it would be a little different, and I thought it would be a little better myself. I was still very pleasantly pleased with the episode, but I did think it'd be a little bit different and stuff. So I don't really have notes. You know, we do this right off the hip, people. You know, we just come right out here. We do it right after. This is our true live reaction of everything that we thought about the episode and everything else. So, you know, right off the bat, what do we get? We get Hip. I call her Hip because it's easier for me to say her name that way. And not everyone can say I pronounce her name wrong. Yeah, Hippolyta. I gotta say Hip. Everyone else got nicknames Tick, Hip, right? So
right.
Figures out how to use the ornery. That's what it's called, ornery, whatever it's called.
I missed the name of that, and I got the name wrong. I was wondering if you can help me with the name. So you did. What did you call it?
It's like ornery or something.
Ornery. Okay.
Somewhat all. Right?
Yeah.
Laura B is in the building rocking with us. What up, Laura B?
Hey, Laura.
All right. And so how did you like the opening scene? How do we go? Ori, right? So like O-R-R-E-Y. Ori. Yep. I'm not sure. And we got MJ Jones rocking with us right here. I gotta make this bigger so I could see people up in there. All right, there it is. MJ Jones. What up, MJ Jones? Rocking with us right now. I don't think I've seen MJ Jones before. What up to you,
That's
MJ
a new
Jones?
name here, I think. At least a new name writing to us or here in the chat.
I think so. We got Big Beef and Bernie in the building right here. We like the episode. All right, so she's trying to cause beef. That's why. All right, Teo. We gotta say shout out to Teo. All right, and that is what it is. No doubt about it. All right, let's get into this. So, opening scene. How'd you feel about that?
Very interesting. I'm very much into sciencey stuff, so I don't know if that's science or more fiction than science, but it looked really, really cool. I I wasn't sure about the whole jumping 3 days ago, like 3 days back. Where were we? I was a little bit confused in the beginning, because they were jumping back, so I kind of didn't know exactly when was what. Yeah, but it was good. I liked it. I liked her episode to be, starting with her. That
Hmm.
was nice too. We knew that's gonna be about her.
Hmm. Definitely. And so when she jumped back, this was the town where they held Montrose captive, right?
Mhm.
That was all
Yes.
broken down. It was
Yes.
destroyed, the town, right?
Yep.
And that most likely is from the explosion that happened with Tick and that whole situation in there.
Mhm.
And not only did it affect that house, but it blew everything down. And then she finds the one piece of paper. It just happens to be laying
Yes.
there. These things it could
Right.
happen. It could happen. It could happen. She happens to find the paper laying there that her daughter drew. That's why she knew. And that, become full
Mhm.
360 with that paper with her daughter's drawing
Yep.
at the end of the episode, and we'll get to that.
Mhm.
I liked it. I liked the way they showed her using her brain. I liked the way they
Yep.
showed her how she thought it out, how she sat there, she thought it out. She couldn't get it in the beginning, and then she just laid down, giving it up. And then
Yep.
when she laid down, the angle from looking at it gave her the clue
Mhm.
that she had to lean to the side with it and everything else, and that side, and she had to lean the planets. And I like the way they had to work that out and how they did everything like that. And she did work it out. She gets the machine working, and then is a key inside the machine right there.
Yep.
Now in the trailer, when she's holding that thing in her hand, I don't think we've seen the two shots from the
Mhm.
trailer. I don't think that scene was
Hmm.
there. The thing with the thing floating that I pointed out, and her with the thing in her hand. I don't think that was in this episode. That was in. I
Hmm.
think that was edited because I don't remember seeing that at all, and I was looking for it,
Mhm.
but I don't remember seeing that part. Maybe people
Hmm.
in the chat, but I pointed that out that she had something in her hand, and when she came in, it didn't look like that they put that scene in there. I don't know if it was edited out or whatever. I don't know. I have to go back and check that. So she
Mhm.
Nikki says nope, it wasn't. Yeah, Nikki, she's on it. Yeah, that scene was
Right.
not in there. That's why.
Mhm.
Thank you for verifying that. Yeah, I was looking for it, and I was like, "What is this scene?" So that in the beginning when people do shows, they have some things do get left on the cutting room floor,
Yep.
right? And this is something that got left on the cutting room floor, but it was in the trailer last week, though.
Right.
So why would
I
they
heard
leave
about
that?
that happening sometimes with different like different shows, and it's very, very aggravating for people to see that. Yeah, this one I didn't. I completely missed it. So yeah.
Yeah, so she does all of that. She gets the device. She gets the key out of the device, and now when it opened up, it looked like a ring box, right? When it opened
Mhm.
up, like it should be like a key
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something inside there. It
Maybe like
actually
a
looked.
musical box or something, like you have like you open it, there's like a figurine or something, but then there was a key inside
Yes,
or
definitely a
something.
music
Yeah.
box is what the word I'm looking for here. Definitely looked that way. Then we went from that right to Ruby and Christina. And this is what AK got this theory right here. We're gonna talk about that. But how did you feel about the Ruby Christina scene right after her confronting Christina about everything and how that all played out?
So with that one, I was the words that stuck with me were when Christina said that it was all me. This was all me saying, even though there were the words were coming out from William's mouth. Those were my words. So I wonder if she actually, um, if that means. I mean, I don't know if they mentioned any um, affection or love. Maybe not love, because probably too early for those words for them. At least I missed them if they said anything like that. But I wonder if she actually is attracted to, like for the show to show two females together. If this is a hint towards that. But it was a powerful conversation, and she talked about, what was it, trying to um, make her father happy for the son, the son he never had, so she wanted to kind of live up to that. And then she realizes that she like, what is she doing, like, what is this, like, I don't need to be limiting myself, which later on we see that in the episode later with Hip, as you call her. um, it's trying to please others.
Hmm.
versus, be there for yourself. There's so much more you can be. So we have the same thing with Ruby being, kind of starting it in previous episode, and then Christina mentioning it, and then Hip actually living it.
Yes. So I thought, listen, we got to see what was in the basement. And I gotta give the shout out to the girl AK-47. Let me put a name up here so everyone knows who I'm talking about. Because she said in that basement there was going to be dead bodies, and that she was going to be siphoning the blood from the bodies in
Yeah.
order to make these potions.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what we seen down there in the basement right there. So definitely shout out to AK-47 for pulling that right there. I did not see that one coming, but that was a great call, and boom, that was a 100% get, and you get something right. That's a
Mm-hmm.
100% get right. We've seen the two bodies out there. Now, I didn't know that it was that was like her lover, and she was out here trying to take
Yeah.
revenge for her lover, like she was saying. I didn't think it was something like that, but she says she was really just trying to get him to teach her magic,
Yep.
and then she realized, like, why should I just get this guy to teach me rat? He can only teach me so much. I need to learn so much more, and I could be so much
Mm-hmm.
more than that. So how did you feel? I mean, I want to talk about this real quick because there was a comment. This is a little bit off the episode, but there was a
Mm-hmm.
comment left on one of my videos, and I wanted to discuss it with you real quick. And it's
Sure.
about colorism
Mm-hmm.
and how they always project Letty as being a sexy woman, but Ruby, who's a very attractive woman, they don't project her with the same sex appeal. And the commenter was saying that they do believe that it's because she's a darker skinned woman versus a lighter skinned woman. Now, these are black people who are making this movie, who are making this TV show. So I don't think myself that it would be directly a correlation of that. Like that's what they were going for. I think maybe they were doing it just to point something out or just to make a point about it.
Mm-hmm.
But how did you feel about that? Do you see that they portray Letty more as a sexier woman, I think, than her sister?
I would say no. I'm sorry. I would say no to that because the way Ruby, I actually noticed that the way Ruby was sitting, she looks very sexy. And the angle that they did, they kind of, swooped in from the, her feet going up. You could see her thighs, you could see her butt, her waist, her breasts,
And
and
I
her
do
face. And
appreciate seeing all those things too.
yes, exactly. I that was very nice. I liked it the way she had her hair nicely done. I'm sitting, just sitting there, kind of reclining with her sunglasses. She was very, very sexy. At least I think she was. So I don't know who. Maybe again, I'm basing it right now. Not I can remember the previous episodes, but they do dress her very nicely. She I don't think she's any less sexy or presented any less sexy.
She has maximum cleavage showing. Now, yeah,
Yeah.
obviously she's a bigger woman than Letty, and I think that the designer, she'd probably be better if we were able to have costume code here, because she could probably talk about the costumes. Because they present her mostly, when you present Ruby, she's mostly in dresses. You don't really see, like this episode, we've seen her in some pants, right? But that's like one of the first times we really seen her in pants. Usually she's
Hmm.
presented in dresses that are
Yes.
very low cut tops. But I
Hmm.
thought that when she's up on that stage and she's singing, and she was singing with Letty, I thought that she was the more sexier person
Yeah.
that I've seen that on the stage and stuff. So I just wanted to address that. You know what I mean? Kiki says sizeism
Sizes.
for sure. It could be a situation that
Mhm.
it could be dealing with size and how they fit the clothes on the women. I mean, obviously, I think that they're going for Letty is the love interest of the main
Mhm.
character, Tick. So I think they're gonna play her up a little bit more, especially with she's skinnier, the booty shorts and everything else. They got her bending over in the car, in the first scene. Got her, So I see what they're saying about it, but I just think that it's that she does her
Yeah.
thing. I think especially when she's out there singing and sweating, I think she looks
Oh.
very sexy. I ain't
Yeah, and
afraid of the sweat.
those shorts and those red, or they were kind of more orange red, I think. Shorts were very nice. So I don't know what they were seeing before, but I maybe when they thought about her just kind of being covered in that blood and all that skin coming off. That definitely was not sexy, but that would not be sexy on anybody. Don't, all
Mhm.
those changes. But so I'm gonna scratch that episode from adding to her sex appeal, because that was just disgusting on anybody. But as far as her clothes and the way she wears them, and they're nicely fitted properly, she doesn't wear anything loose or baggy to cover anything up. She's The way I see her, she's proud of what she has, and she should be. She's a very, very gorgeous woman.
I see. I agree with you 100%. I just wanted to address that
Hmm.
because it was left a comment, and the comment got a bunch of comments off it. After
Hmm.
that, we go, right to Tick and Letty again, Tick and Letty, and and I enjoy seeing Tick and Letty together. I do.
Hmm.
That when she came out there and he kissed her and he hugged her and he put his head in her chest.
Hmm.
That is what every man wants. That's the most comforting spot in the world, when your head is in a woman's chest and you're sitting down and she's to me, that's the most comforting thing in the world. And I think that's what if I have a relationship, that's what I would strive to have, something like that. How did you feel about the Tick and Letty? Tick figuring out, doing some research.
Yeah. So with that was a very. I kind of forgot that they might have been, kind of either staying together, but I forgot that there was this house that they're together, or he's renting one of their rooms over there. But it was very nice. It was very homey, and they were very relaxed. They do look like a couple at that moment. They are very affectionate with each other. But obviously, the scene that was right there in the morning when she woke up, the transition was um, to Letty's dream. And at first, I'm thinking, okay, what's going on? Why is she there? Why is she in that burning house? Like, am I missing something? Is it happening? Is it just somebody's imagination? And obviously pregnancy, and I'm so wondering if she's going to be pregnant, because right after that, whatever the episode was when they had sex for the first time, I thought, okay, his blood was mentioned, so I'm thinking, there must be a pregnant, somebody has to be pregnant, and maybe they're gonna do that for her. I wonder if it's actually going to come true, her being pregnant and all.
I think she is pregnant. I mean,
Yeah,
after
later on, right?
garlic and everything else and
Mhm.
all that, I think that it would have to go. And the fact that she's having the same dreams as it's not. I don't know how she's getting these dreams. Who's putting
Mhm.
these dreams? And it probably is the woman in the house. I think it has to be her that's doing it to her and Tick, and it's got something that's going to revolve around this baby because
Mhm.
you know Christina says to Ruby that it's in your bloodline,
Mhm.
the magic, right?
Yep.
So that's not, but it's really in Tick's bloodline. So I
Yep.
think what she's talking about is this baby. Like, I think she has
Mhm.
knowledge that Letty is pregnant, and that's why she's saying it's in your bloodline to Ruby at that time, because she knows that there's a Tick's going to have this baby with Letty, and that's going to be probably the one who has all the power in the end and
Mhm.
everything else. So I thought it was a very good scene with them and everything else, and that leads us right off to Montrose getting exposed for what he is.
Mhm.
All right, and getting exposed and everything else. So how did you like? Let's take it right from the beginning. See him in
Yeah.
there with his lover, and after we seen the awakening of Montrose, right? Of
Mhm.
him, we thought of him truly accepting himself. We see that he truly isn't accepting himself. That way, he was caught up in the moment at that
Yeah.
time, because when reality set right back in, he got the guy in his house, and the guy is making his breakfast. He's upset, and he's listen. I've been there. I think anyone who's been in a relationship has been there, that when you just want to be mad, you'll look for any little thing to get mad, and just
Mhm.
so you could have a way out. And that is what he was doing. How did you
Yeah.
take that?
Oh yeah, like the first, just the whatever comment he made, I think about food or whatever it was. I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's gonna be that. He's gonna try to, like, exactly like you said, pick a fight about something, anything. Um, I was wondering about, because his name is Sammy, right? Or that's
Yeah,
his
Sammy.
lover's name. So Sammy, I wonder if he's actually openly gay over there, or is it just kind of he's still hiding it from others
I think
being open?
everyone knows what Sammy is.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Sammy
Mhm.
can hide it. I think
Yeah.
that's why, later on in the episode when they see him coming out,
Mhm.
they know what he is. They know who he
Yeah.
is. That's why he's all slow about it. He's slow as
Yeah.
roll when Tick and Letty roll up
Yeah.
on him and everything else,
Yeah.
and all that. Now, I'm sure that people are going to give Tick a bad time saying, oh, you should have been more. Let me address this real quick, though. Those grits were goddamn runny. All right. They were. That was legitimate beef. He could be mad because your grits is not supposed to be runny like that. That's not the way grits is made. All right, they ain't supposed to be runny. They should be thicker than that. So he definitely had a beef, a legitimate beef about that. Because I would have been mad about that myself if the grits would have came like that. You know what I mean? Anyone, especially most black people, y'all know how we do with some grits. Y'all know that them grits ain't supposed to be runny like that. God damn it. Yeah, he could have stepped the game up a little bit more. He could have stepped
I'm
it
looking up exactly how they're supposed to look like right now, Tony. I'm
up.
like Googling like, okay, grits versus oatmeal.
It's supposed to be thicker, and that's what it is. Oh, look at Joe Whitten joining us from Facebook. Thank you so much. Tony is from New York City. What does he know about grits? My whole family is from North Carolina on my mother's side. I'm black. I grew up on eating, I'm telling you, grits, eggs, and sizzling. Now, y'all probably don't even know what sizzling is. All right.
I have no idea.
You have no idea what sizzling is. Sizzling
No.
was the shit. I still wish they made sizzling. Sizzling was the greatest. It's like a bacon, but it wasn't
Mhm.
bacon. But that's the best way to describe it. It's like a bacon. And
Okay.
sizzling was the shit. You know what I mean? It was so good that Craig Mack put it in his song. And just like a piece of sizzling, you sit inside my stomach with the eggs and grit between. I mean, because sizzling was the shit.
I'm looking at the pictures. I used to eat it as a kid in Poland.
What?
Grits.
Grits? Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh
That's
yeah.
so funny. Oh my gosh. We ate it sweet and savory depending on the mood.
Yes, you can. And people put a lot of down south people like in New Orleans, they like shrimp and grits.
Oh
But
wow.
you could put grits in just about anything.
I remember
It really
cinnamon
don't
in
have a lot
it.
of flavor. You know what I mean? I just put butter on mine. That's it. I'm a
Wow.
strictly butter on grits, nothing else. That's
Mm,
all I need is butter and eggs with some cheese in there, and that's it. I like cheese and grits too. That's
nice.
basically the way you go with me.
I ate it, didn't even know because I don't even know what the name of it is in Polish. That's funny.
So I what? No. Sizzling wasn't bologna bacon. No. Fried bologna is fried bologna. All right. That's not sizzling. Sizzling was not fried bologna. Sizzling was amazing. I miss it so much. I'm telling you, I Google like try to find it and see if it was still being made somewhere. That's how much I enjoyed it so much. All right, we're done talking about breakfast. All right.
So hungry. Thanks, Tony. I'm hungry now. I'm gonna look for
All
some
right.
snacks after.
Well, he gets mad. He opens up
Mhm.
the door. He's all upset because he got to talk to the neighbor. And
Yep.
he's like, listen, there wasn't no way here. Don't worry about it.
Mhm.
And boom, here comes Tick and them, and gets exposed, and he gets exposed. And and Tick says to him, so it's true.
Mhm.
And he calls him the F word. All right. Now,
Mhm.
I'm sure people will be offended saying, but at that time, if you want to be realistic, it just until recently, truly, it became mainstream offensive to say that word. I would say maybe within the last 5 years. Because before that, I think everyone said that word, and you just said that word like it was nothing. And especially back then, I'm sure that it was said like that. And I'm sure it's shocking for him. But we also get the tidbit that the mother did know.
Mhm.
Now, do you
Yep.
believe Montrose when he said the mother knew? Do you believe him that when he said the Tick's mom knew? You believe him? Chat. What do you think? Do you believe
Mm.
that Montrose? He just said that to get out of it. I believe him. I think the mom did know, and I think that's why it was just a cover up, and that's why I think Tick is not his son.
I wonder. I mean, I do believe that. I wonder why they would be together, though. Meaning, why? I mean, if she did it just to help him out, but she loved George. I wonder, like, why wouldn't George be with her? Maybe he was. I wonder what the whole dynamic was there. If they were doing it to help um, Mantras out. What do you think? That was there something between those
There's
three? Like,
something else going on. I don't know if she, how could I say it? It depends how much was she truly in love with him and that didn't bother her, or did she was just friends with him at that point and she knew that he was like this way, and because of the times they were already married, you don't get divorced or you don't do anything like that or something like that. It could be a situation like that. I'm not totally sure, but I think it does have to get exposed later on. This guy definitely
maybe.
got to
So
figure out what's going on.
I wonder, like, if, for example, he wanted a cover, like, cover somewhere, right? So he needs to find somebody. He found her, and maybe, they didn't do anything before marriage. They didn't have sex or whatever it was, and then maybe he kind of just did what he had to do, and then he didn't do anything after that. And then maybe when she found out, um, getting um, getting George to kind of, I don't know, whatever the relationship was, I kind of see it happening that she might have not done it knowingly at first, but then when, like you said, she found out, she might have found out.
Yeah, she had to find out at some point. I,
Mhm.
I I don't know. It could. I don't know what it is, but I do believe him when she says that she knew. And
Mhm.
and if people want to get mad that Tick said the word, I think that's just more realistic for him to say that. You know what I mean? And he explains why he's so upset when he goes outside the Letty, because he's like, this dude, used to beat me all the time
Mhm.
to try to make
Yeah.
me. You know, I think he's
Yeah.
trying to make him not like him.
Make him
I
tough.
think he was so ashamed of
Mhm.
what he was that he didn't want his son to become like that. So he tried to, usually they say, "Oh, you're gay, I'll beat it out of you." But he didn't even know if his son was gay. He would just beat him to try to make sure that he wouldn't become that way.
Mm.
To try to toughen him up, I guess. I guess that was his logic. I mean, it's illogical, but
Yeah.
I guess that was what his logic was and everything else.
Yeah. Maybe he didn't want to look weak. Not that gay people would be weak, but maybe he perceived some of the people that he knew, who were gay, as weaker. Didn't want to sound like them, didn't want to act like them. So he wanted to be this macho person who is kind of, in a way, complete opposite, at least on the outside.
Hmm. I agree with you 100% on that. Now we're going to go to. I'm looking at this paper. I tried to write stuff down when
Hmm.
sleeping. Uh, Hip, right? Hippolyta again. Is the next scene in this right here. She goes out of town and it skips real quick. It just shows
Hmm.
her leave town, and then it shows that before she does that or whatever, they want to borrow the car from her, but
Yeah.
she's on her own mission. And then we see that her daughter is staying with Ruby,
Hmm.
and Ruby's babysitting her daughter. We wondered where she would be in this episode. We only got a quick glimpse of her.
Yeah.
So we wondered, like, when she was going through all these things that she was going through. We said,
Hmm.
where was her daughter? But now we know exactly what her daughter. And look, and I think as these episodes go on, and we see that they focus on one character, I think it's Diane's episode is next.
Hmm.
Is the next episode will be fully dealing
Yeah.
with her. She'll have her own episode, which
Yeah.
I like the way they do it. How do you feel about them doing, like, focus on one character per episode like
I
that?
like it a lot. We get a glimpse into, more than a glimpse into them. Each person gets kind of, well, whoever gets it or got it so far, thus far, and then we have, what, three after this one.
Hmm.
But I hope that towards the end, at least the last one, if not the two last ones, are going to be more of them, kind of how it all fits in together, hopefully.
Yeah, because and that's what one thing I could say that I complain about Game of Thrones for real quick was that they jumped around too much. and they didn't spend enough time with certain characters and flesh
Mhm.
them out. So that's why I really enjoy them actually doing this in this episode. And I think that some of the best, if not the best episodes of Game of Thrones is when they only focused on one or two
Mhm.
characters. I think those are the best ones that they have. But when Game of Thrones was just known for jumping 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 2 minutes for this person, 2 minutes for this person, 2 minutes for this.
Yeah,
And
Whiplash.
you didn't get anything. And so that was it. All right, we're at the halfway point of this right now, and
Mhm.
Elamar has gotten a gift today, and she said
Thank
she's
you
going
for
to do an unboxing right here.
Thank you for telling me to check my mail. Today was such a I have it right here. I had such a busy day today, and they put it right by the door. And I don't know what it is with some of the delivery people who deliver stuff. They, instead of putting, like, my screen door opens out, and some packages in the past were put in a way that I couldn't even open my door. I'm like, okay, thank God I have the back door over there, and then garage. So, but I have it. Thank you for reminding me about it. It's right here. I'm gonna. I wonder what it is. Am I gonna get scared? No.
I hope not. I mean, that wouldn't be much of a gift if it scared you.
No, no, no. I'm saying, like, it will pop out. Let's see. What is it? Oh my God! I had no idea. I'm getting. It's Sunday. It's Sunday. Oh my gosh! I'm excited.
It's good. And I would like to say that the people who won Thug Mug, their Thug. This is my brand new Thug Mug I just got right here. Theirs are all sent out, so you should receive those Thug Mugs by tomorrow.
Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness! Okay, let me show you. Okay, there we go.
Oh, I think we have to go full screen with you.
Okay.
Let's see if we can. If I'm good enough. There we go. Whoop.
Oh my. This is. It says martini glasses. Okay. Oh my God. I need to. Okay. I'm gonna. Oh, this is exciting. I now for it says martini glasses. So I need to learn how to make martinis. Oh my
Well, I
gosh,
guess
camera's on me. Oh my
it
goodness.
could be,
Let
it
me
may be,
move so you can see this.
for martinis, but I don't think you actually have to use them for martinis.
Okay.
You can do what you want.
This is so exciting. Thank you, by the way. Oh my God. Okay. How do I open this and not cut my? I did so much. I did. Oh, actually, I was working on a home project here. I was laying down pergo type flooring today. I still have
Pergo
my nail.
flooring?
Yes, for the
I
first
like.
time.
I've done that many times. Pergo. It's very, very, very. I would say it's. I don't say it's simple, but it's
It is
simpler, right?
simpler. It's simple, but at first I think I was yelling at the flooring and kind of like, well, kind of in my head. But so my hands are 10 fingers. I mean, 2 thumbs, and anyway, didn't break anything, didn't cut anything. So I'm hoping not to cut myself here with this. Oh my God, this is so nice. Oh, you can't see it. Okay, I'm gonna go like that so you can see it. Exciting. Come on. I love the box too. Shiny.
Yes, this is a commercial break. We're getting right back to it. We're getting right back to it.
I'm trying.
Oh. Liv will be drinking martinis from now on.
Ooh, oh my goodness. Nice.
It's a lot of packaging.
I don't have martini glasses. I don't own one. Now I do. Oh my goodness. Look at that. This is so cool. There are two over here. This is actually double insulated. Okay, my nails are horrid. Okay, it says double wall dragon glass. Double wall dragon glass. So this is actually oh my God. So when you pour it in, I'm assuming, and hold it, you're not holding it with your warm hands. You're holding actually the outside of it, and inside there is this tube here for your martini, and it's nice and smooth. So, and it's, oh my gosh, and there's that. There's like a little dragon, I guess, dragon there on the bottom. And there are 2 of these. Tony, thank you so very much. I love it. For the next one, I'm going to make myself a martini for the next one. And I'm going to sip it here with you next week.
Perfect. I think
Thank you. Thank you so much. I love it. This is very, very, I've never seen anything like this. This is not a regular glass. It's a, it's gonna keep it cold
It
and
will.
delicious. Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome. We're welcome. All right, commercial break is over,
Yes.
people. We're gonna get right back to this. All right, let's get to this situation. All right, tickets.
Mhm.
Tick goes off into searching. Letty says she has to stay behind because he asked her like straight up, do you want to come with me or do you want to stay behind? And she decides that she wants to stay behind because she has her own family business to deal with real quick. All right, so in dealing with her family business, we get Letty and her sister. How did you think that went? I like the way that they showed them working it out, and I'm glad that they did show that because I thought it was very important. If they would have just not put that up in there, I think it would have left a whole lot to be desired. So what did you feel about that?
I liked it. At first, I thought that she actually is gonna talk to her about potentially being pregnant. That's why you would go maybe to your sister, even though they were not so close at that moment. It didn't happen. She didn't say that, but then later on we see that she gets kind of sick from the garlic, whatever was in that sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I liked how they kind of made up without making up. Letty apologized for being distant and for trying to yeah, just not being a good sister, just thinking of herself more than of Ruby. So I did like it. I did like how they did it. They showed family time. They showed that Letty is such a cool aunt because
Mm-hmm.
she actually said a bad word in front of the kids.
That is a
I
cool
think
man who does that.
exactly,
That
exactly.
is a cool man. Yeah, I enjoyed that whole situation, everything about them. Tick's journey, he realized he has to go for these books and everything, but he doesn't find the book when he gets in there. But what he does find is that he has this mark in the back of his neck and the back of his shoulder blade, I should say. That's the same as we see in the picture right there. How did you like that? We didn't really get too much. We about to get into the meat of it right now. This episode.
Oh, it was. I still didn't know what it was. It was kind of like either what do you call it? Kind of scan through the photo album, but I didn't know what it was. Like, was it an animal or like just a sign of
It was
some
like a
kind? I
sign, like a
yeah,
symbol. It really was
yeah.
just a symbol. I can't see it being anything else than a symbol.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into it right now. What this
Mm-hmm.
episode truly is about, and it's the great adventure of Hippolyta. Right. So she gets down there and she finds this huge telescope, and she figures out the code of how she puts the key in it. She gets it to turn on, and then she figures the code out and everything else. The two cops come inside there, and obviously every cop we see is racist. We have not seen a cop that ain't racist yet. And out of nowhere, Tick I didn't expect Tick to come out of there. Like, I didn't see that. That's something that threw me for a loop. I did not expect Tick to come save the day. I didn't think he was
Mm-hmm.
close enough to get out there to that fast.
Yeah, that was weird. I at first who's this man jumping? Is it a new character? I didn't recognize him at first. I knew that he's gonna be there somewhere, but uh, yeah, he got there. We don't know how quickly he got there because we see that she was kind of like working on the numbers. They showed the whole sequence of her counting stuff, like the little numbers. So I did like how the numbers were like flowing. I mean, I knew what she would. I would have known that she's calculating stuff either way, but that was nicely added. I like that part too. And then him, boom, there. Didn't expect that to happen, but it was weird seeing that white policeman just grabbing her like that. Did he grab her by her neck or shoulders? That was
He
that
grabbed
was
him right up against the thing, and he
yeah,
like asking her how she knew how to
yeah,
do this and everything else. And she bust a cap in that dude straight up.
yeah.
She pulled the gun on and she grabbed the hands on the gun and she bust a cap
Yeah,
right on him, and blew him right away.
yeah. Was that the same one who grabbed her? I don't know if that was the
Yes,
one that.
it was the same guy
Okay.
who grabbed it who had the gun. And then all of a sudden, this
Mhm.
portal opens up, and then Tick throws the one guy in the portal. And I was like, why didn't they take the body? That's what I was thinking. Throw that body in that portal too.
All right.
I was thinking that right from the beginning when they seen the body there and they were looking at the body. I was like, why didn't they throw the body in the portal as well? And then the portal sucked Ruby. Now,
Mm,
all right. It
Yeah.
sucked Tick in too, right?
That's what I thought, but then I'm thinking maybe he kind of like wobbled, and then we see him wobbling back forward. I gave them benefit of the doubt. Like he kind of went there with her, kind of towards it, but when it sucked her in, that moment, it's like a split moment. Like we pick up right after that when she disappears, and I'm thinking maybe he just kind of, appeared, like
Mm-hmm.
didn't go. But if it turns out that he actually went back, then where is his adventure? What happened to him?
Yeah, that's what we need to find. If let me ask the chat here, do
Hmm.
y'all think that Tick was taken to the port? I thought he was taken. I thought he was going to be with her in the beginning, but I've seen all the promos. I didn't see him in there, but I think he was taken in there in one of his portals, and we're gonna have to find out exactly what happened to him in a later episode. They'll
Yeah.
probably figure out what happened to him.
So, what do you think happened to that first cop? I mean, was she just by chance transported to this perfect place where she was supposed to meet herself? Well, not, well, the I am part. What about the cop who was, thrown back somewhere? Like, did he go
I
through a
don't.
journey?
Yeah, I don't.
I
I
know.
don't. If he did, he may not just not. He may not come back. He may not have
Yeah.
came back. And I knew it wasn't. No, I knew it was going to be a multiverse. I said that in the promo video that it was going to be a multi. It wasn't going to be the same
Hmm.
planet. She wasn't going back in the time. She wasn't living through past lives. But it was weird the way where she got there. We see it in the portal. She's butt naked. Didn't mind it. It's about time that we get something as men, to look at.
Yeah.
We don't get as much as you ladies get in this show. You know what I mean? Or anything else like that. But we got a little something. We got a little booby. We got some little
Oh, she
booby.
was full front, almost. Well, she was sitting down, so you couldn't see, I guess, her.
And it was from a little distance
Yeah.
too. They didn't give us a close-up shot like they be giving these man asses.
They did kind of a little bit. You could see part of her top breast and the nipple when they were kind of like zooming in. I'm like, oh, okay, and now they stop.
And they
Just for a
stopped.
second, they stopped.
They stop real fast. They don't give us no lovers, man. We get no love. Only the women get love in this show. It depends. Women they got Asian butt, black man butt, white man butt. They get it all, the ladies and everything else. We don't get nothing. All right. Anyway, besides that, so she's sitting in there and she puts her clothes on and she can find a little jumpsuit. She puts a
Yep.
jumpsuit on, and then we get who is this? Erica Badu? Was it Erica Badu with the afro that played this role? Who knows? It looked like Erica Badu. I don't think it was. Let's just call it Erica Badu because she doesn't have a name. Erica Badu comes to her and tells her, like, this name yourself. You could be whoever you want and everything else. And
That she's not a prisoner. That's not a
yeah,
prisoner.
like,
Yeah.
you're not a prisoner in it. And she was doing her calculations while she was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Doing all the calculations and trying to figure out stuff while she was in there, and she was going at work and everything else. You know what I mean? So I would have to say that then she says, just say where you want to go, and she picks being a dancer. How did you like the whole dancing scene of her and everything else? Not just being a dancer. Dancer wanted to dance with a special woman who was the. I think that this woman that was in there is the. I'm not sure, but I know it was a black woman. I don't know if
I
she's the
googled her
exact, but
actually.
I know that Betty Boop,
Yeah.
the cartoon Betty Boop, was taken from a black lady.
Oh wow.
And they made that a white lady, Betty Boop, but it was really they took the image of a black lady and made it white. So I think
Wow.
that it quite possibly could have been Josephine Baker. I'm not sure, but I know it may not have been Josephine Baker, but it was it's a black woman. So we were talking about Josephine Baker right here, right now. All right. All right. All right. All right.
Yeah, that was interesting
Hey,
seeing her.
listen, what are y'all talking about, man? Y'all talk. I did not call the Josephine Baker Betty Boop. I'm making a point that the cartoon character of Betty Boop was taken from a black woman and they made her into a white woman. And I'm thinking that Josephine Baker was the influence of that character. I'm not sure, but I know it was taken from a white man. I know who the lady's name is. Chat. All right. Anyway, so she wanted to be with Josephine Baker. And how did you like this whole situation?
I the whole all those sequences, because we see her jumping through different things, right? And I was wondering, okay, uh, she's a dancer, so did she? Again, I was looking more into just practical stuff. Okay, where does she live? We see her progressing. We see her getting better. Do they know her? Does she have a different name? She lives somewhere. Who's she living with? They don't question her lack of complete lack of skills. Well, professional skills maybe. Um, yeah, that was kind of strange, but it was. I saw it as that was one of the things I didn't like, because they were kind of like skipping through stuff, and
Mhm.
uh, I don't know, like if she's growing as a person, is she growing through time, or this is kind of again kind of Doctor Who references here, a lot of time jumping and all that. Um, I was confused by those things, and those things took me out, because it seemed like more of a dream than a
Mhm.
reality, and who knows what reality is. Maybe it's a dream to somebody somewhere else. um but it was nice seeing her. When I was laughing a little bit when they were supposed to take off their bras at the end, I'm like, why didn't you take off hers? So like everybody else's was off, why not take off yours? You're already there.
I was waiting for it.
I
Please
know, me
do
too.
it. What are you waiting for? I mean, everyone else did it. You can't do that. I think each trip taught her something about
Yeah,
herself.
yeah.
And I think that was the whole reason why she did the trip. Each
Hmm.
trip built her up. It taught her something
Yep.
about herself, and it built her up into the woman that she's going to have to become and why she had to come
Yeah.
back home. And I thought that was the purpose of each trip. But she got this, as she was saying, she was like, she's like later, she's like, I became, the black woman that they wanted me to be.
Mhm.
I just did what the society wanted me to be, but that's truly wasn't me. I was really being lynched, but more lynched spiritually. Like her
Yep.
spirit was taken from her and everything else like that. And I think that Josephine Baker allowed her being like that to free herself, to be more open. And she was having a good, and she was there for a while. Each
Yeah.
scene she
Oh
was
yeah.
there. Because when you see the numbers in the bottom, you can see that
Mhm.
like it was going for a while.
Yep.
She was enjoying herself. She was flirting with the guy at the bartender. She got the
Mhm.
dances down at the end. She was doing her thing and everything
Yeah.
else. I liked it. I mean, I do think I did want for more. And I'm not trying, I love the show, but I did want a little more than
Mhm.
I got. I wanted a little bit more. I think they could have gave us more. They could have took away some other things in the episode just to give us more of her journey
Yeah.
into the different dimensions. I wanted to see more
Mhm.
of that. Like they devoted, I think probably the last, I'm gonna say they gave 15 minutes to that out of the hour episode. I would have liked to see 25 to 30 minutes devoted to all that. That's what I would have liked to see
Mhm.
more. But beggars can't be choosers. And those, she's smoking marijuana with Josephine. She's smoking
Yeah.
a big fat spliff, and then and she opens up, and then she walks from there. Just when she says her name, she
Mhm.
realizes that she says her name, and
Mhm.
then she goes into the African tribe
Yeah.
situation where she's at over there. And I thought that it was a time jump, like it seemed like two different time
Yeah.
periods,
To
but I
me.
guess it wasn't. I guess it was just the African people had more primitive weapons at that time compared to the soldiers who they fought against. And this
Mhm.
was to serve her, to toughen her up. Like the first person was the first time with Josephine was to make her more aware of who she was, who she really wanted to be, and this was to serve to toughen her. How did you like the scenes right there, the fighting scenes in Africa?
Yeah, I thought later on, based on the costumes or uniforms those soldiers had, that it was more in the past. But again, that maybe it kind of, to me, it doesn't matter when it was, because that was not about when, it was about what was the purpose of it. So it was about her growth. Um, the soldiers, the women, because those were women warriors over there, and they um a lot was brought up, like the scene before in Paris. She mentioned how angry she is, not just with others, with white people, but she's also angry with herself. She's so very angry, and I don't think she actually says why what else she's angry with, or who else she's angry with, when she was asked that right before jumping to those women warriors. I was wondering how, because that was just training that she was in. They were just training, and she was great. She was doing very well. I guess she beat whoever the main person was to receive, the whatever the head piece there, to have it to lead those women. But I'm thinking practice is one thing, but then battle, because we see them later in a battle and the gruesome and a lot of blood. That was very,
With
that
a bunch,
head cutting off,
yeah,
cutting
with a
off.
bunch of young girls too. I
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
first seen it, when I first seen it in the training in the circle, it
Hmm.
reminded me of Spartacus. Like
Right.
that's what I thought of. Like when
Yeah,
Spartacus, if anyone in the chat had ever watched Spartacus, when he
yeah.
first got to the gladiatorial arena,
Hmm.
and El Del Torre was
Yeah.
training him. And then every time he tried to attack him, Del Torre knock him back down and everything else. And it reminded me a lot of that. You know what I mean? AK says, when she see it reminded her of gave her a Black Panther vibe. I could definitely feel the Black Panther
Hmm.
vibe. I think they did that on purpose. And I thought that her actually, when she was doing the fighting, it was very very well done. And I like the fact that was it a nod to John Carter? I could see why you would say it would be a nod to John Carter. So I would say definitely it could have a little nod to John Carter there, without a doubt. And Maud Mary says she is angry at men too. Yeah, she's angry
Yeah.
at men, and she takes that and she confesses that right after. But
Mm.
she goes out there because she says that and before that she wanted to kill white people, right?
Yeah.
But that was what she wanted to do because of what she had became before that even happened. So I thought it was well done. I like the fact that they had a bunch of young girls in there fighting and everything else, and killing people like that, because the original Amazons were black women. They changed it to give this whole mythology to become these white women, but really it was black women. And because what happened was that these white guys went to Africa and they got their ass kicked by these black women warriors over there. And when they got their ass kicked by these black women warriors, they had to make up these lies about them and said, "Oh, these women were 7 feet tall and blah 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 blah."
Nice.
But they couldn't they couldn't live
Right.
up to the fact that they got their ass kicked by women, so they made up this whole thing, and then that's how the whole Amazon thing got started and stuff. So I thought it was a really good throwback to that, when you seen that no, these were regular women. They were small women, but they were just aggressive. They could fight and they could do their thing and they cut you up. And the headshot
Hmm.
scene was amazing. I thought that was
Yeah.
really well done, especially the way she just did it. She walked behind
Kind of like, I know. I'm like, yeah.
elbowed it right. Like,
Yeah, that I didn't
yeah.
expect. I just thought, okay, it's gonna just kind of fall down. No, she knocked it off his body. But
Mhm.
I was wondering, so they were preparing her for battle. But again, maybe we just see this battle. Maybe we didn't see battles before that, because there's those time jumps within those that warrior tribe, or those warriors, women warriors. But I'm thinking practice is one thing, and then you are in a field actually killing people. So again, I was wondering where, if they could have, let's say, showed maybe like a 10-second something of them being in a battle, and her not jumping from practice, winning the practice, to there we go, we're in here, we're gonna kill right away. So I just wanted that was missing for me. It reminded me
Mhm.
again kind of Game of Thrones. I have to make that connection, and assume that this is what happened, that they actually had some practice with combat, and then later we see her actually as a leader of actual combat. There was a comment here from but that's way up there, somewhere from AK, that she was the woman in Paris there, because not Ruby, hip,
Especially-
yes, she was kind of making eye contact, like as if she was flirting not just with men but also with women. And then who was it Mad Mary mentioning that she was angry with men.
Mhm.
So later on, other scene, I'm thinking if she's angry because not only white people put her down or and make her smaller, but also men do that too, and in her relationships with George later on.
And that's what we get to. We get to where she says, and I said this in the promo video. So check out the promo video. You can see that I said that it was going to be her daughter that called her back. That it was going to be the reason why she was going to go back. She was going to like where she was at, but the reason why she was going to go back was because of her daughter. I said that was going to be her dilemma, was whether to stay or go, and that's exactly what happened at the end. But she goes before that, as Kiki says, they were outnumbered. Yeah, so that is the long short story of how it is back then. Not these guys, they were not as skilled warriors and not good warriors as the people in Africa, but they had better technology and they had more numbers. And that's basically wins out the day in the end.
Yeah.
If you have the numbers, you have more troops, you're going to win the war. If you can just keep throwing men at people, when the Americans and stormed the beaches of Normandy and they went over there to do that, they won that because of sheer dead bodies. They said, listen, we're going to commit to a certain amount of all these people dying so we could take this. They were already willing to sacrifice all these men, and that was the reason why they did it. And you're just going to die, and that's it. So that's the way they were doing it. We're going to throw so many people at you that eventually we're going to overtake you because you're going to get tired. It's just too many.
That was a scene in Spartacus at some point, I think the last season somewhere, where they used all the bodies to kind of make a bridge across something. So they piled up all their own, who were fallen, and they had to make, from one, make it across from one point to the other. They used the bodies against that. So sometimes it's difficult decisions that you have to make, like over there, right, with a lot of them being outnumbered, but she put down her helmet and she kind of just fought till her last breath.
Yeah, you're gonna fight to your death because you're not gonna win, but you're gonna take as many people as you can with you. So then we see her say her name is Hippolyta, the wife of George. And we get this is the opening scene we get with them, right? That we've seen them at the first time when she's in bed with him and then he has sex with her and stuff like that. And we see him there. And this makes me think he may not come back. This scene. I don't know if he's gonna come back. I always thought he was gonna come back to the show, but this scene makes me think he's really not gonna come back to the show. She's sitting there and she has a confession that that you made me small on purpose, and I not only did you make me small, I allowed you to make me small. I'm smaller than I actually am. I'm bigger than what you're allowing me. I think that is the dilemma with a lot of people in this world today. A lot of people settle for lives, settle for the life they're in, or just say, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what is expected of me. And this is not such a bad life. I just raised these kids, but you have dreams of your own and you sacrifice those dreams for somebody else. And I think that was what was going on there. How did you feel about the scene?
Yeah, a lot of things, people kind of give up the stuff that they, let's say, would want to do in order to either but I think a lot of people, sometimes young people, don't know what is that they actually want. But being raised in different families, let's say, their expectations, you have to do this, you have to do that, by this age you should have this, you should have that, and this is your role. So I don't think it's only maybe the era, but your own parents and your own surroundings kind of form you to whatever it is, that you may be at that moment, and realizing that you can be more, and it's okay to just think about what you really want, not what you always thought you wanted. That's difficult for some people. For a lot of people, they don't realize what they actually want until they experience a lot of different things and realize, yeah, that's not what I want, or that's not what I want. And but once you are in something, stuck somewhere, you kind of, there's no way out. Like right there, she was married to him for a while apparently, and she could have said no. She could have, told him, yeah, I'll be with you, but I have those dreams. Maybe he would have listened, because she never actually Well, in the way she does verbalize it, right? Because she says, even in the beginning, she says, "Oh, what if I go? What if I go on this? Like, because I've written the stuff for you, and those were one of your best things that were written, and they were written by me based on your notes. So just imagine how great it would be if I do that and I write it." But he's like, "No, no, no, too dangerous for you. You know, you stay home, you stay with me. You know, with me, be safe. I'll go out there." It is a reality for so many people. And it takes a brave person. Like in her case, it took her, well, his death in a way, and then going through that portal to realize it fully and to confess it to him. Not, but maybe she was able to confess it to him because she didn't know if it's actually him, if it's actually real, or it's just one of
Mhm.
her experiences in her mind.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of both. You know, that the experiences that she had gave her the strength to express that.
Mm-hmm.
And gave her the power to come and say what you like she needed closure with him, and it seemed like he gave her that closure. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and but she was discussing the whole time traveling thing with him,
Yeah.
and you know how I'm traveling from place to place and all this, and she takes him with him. You know, she goes out
Yeah.
there and they go. She takes him with them. She's not like she doesn't want anything to do with the guy. She takes him
Yeah.
with him, and we see them jump into planets. She's like, you
Yeah.
know,
Discover.
I'm an explorer,
Yeah.
right? This is what I do, and this is what I should have been. You know, like when she discovered the was the comet or the planet earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't get credit for it, and she was just willing to know that she did it, but didn't get credit
Mm-hmm.
for it. But her daughter was like had to scream it out to
Yeah.
everyone know. You know what I mean? So I think she got that in her. That's what got into her.
Mm-hmm.
She got that. You know, I could be more. I could have been so much more, but instead you just made me your wife to
Mm-hmm.
raise your kids while you went off and did all this exploring
Yeah.
and did this whole map thing when I'm the real explorer.
Yeah.
I'm the one who wants to be exploring, but yet I'm sitting home raising your kid while you're doing the exploring, and it was wrong for you to do that to me. So, but she does take him with him, and they go into this, you know, this planet and it's crazy things on this planet. It looks like, and then she's doing a little exploring situation, and she seems very happy. But after she gets done with that, you know, she gets asked a question, and she after she realizes who she is, the Erica Badu tells her that you can now join with us,
Mm-hmm.
and she chooses not to. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I with all her stuff, all her travels, for a moment, I kind of forgot that she was grieving, still in a grieving state, or it was been what couple months since her husband died, and she did leave her child. So I wonder if she even thought about her daughter throughout all that, or if this was again kind of in her mind travel where she had not actually that much time has not passed. It was not like real time. It was kind of like you know, experiences are in your head already kind of thing, like you just kind of jump through one, exactly like we're seeing it, like we were seeing it, that she did not live through that, but the time actually made, even though there was no time passing, she has still had those experiences in her mind. uh, Going back to her home, I mean, I would not expect her to leave her kid. Why would you, especially knowing the times that her child lives in, and like she said, yeah, she's gonna need me. So of course any mother, or even you don't have to be mother, go there and instill that knowledge into somebody, share it. She experienced it, she discovered it. Why not give a gift to somebody? She already had all that in her mind. She grew. She basically grew. She didn't shrink. She actually everything expanded within her. So why not share it? And who better to share it with than her daughter?
Exactly, exactly. So, you know, she goes back, she gives up her life, but we don't see her come back,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Supposedly she comes back, but then we see Tick out of nowhere. It seems like he comes back,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
then you know, and that's the whole thing. Like it's weird to me because like when you like it sounds like there's sirens in the background,
Yep.
but sometimes I'm thinking like maybe it's just the music and it's not the sirens, but I do believe it was the sirens in the background. And he grabs up what he has to grab up, but he leaves the book inside the cop's blood right there. He leaves the book right there of Diane. oh, sorry, Diane's book right in the
Mhm.
copper blood right there. He leaves, and that's where we end. So we don't actually see her come back. She's supposed to come back,
Yeah.
and we didn't see really a clip of her in the lead up episode. There was no clip there
Mhm.
or anything else. So it's truly left on a cliffhanger at
Mhm.
that point and everything else. How did you like the ending of this episode?
You know how conveniently, that comic book is there with a name and everything, and covered in blood, but not the name covered in blood. And exactly, why not throw that body in there? And I didn't know. I don't remember if that thing actually turned off, the machine turned off, or it just kind of still stayed like that. Do you remember it turning off,
He
or
turned it off, but like
turned
he
it off?
broke it. Did he
Okay.
break it before she can get back? And she's, it's
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't know if he actually went back, or because where's his adventure? And plus, we don't see. He doesn't say anything. He just runs. Maybe he did have his own adventure somewhere, but again, so many different things that were not answered, and kind of what happened to the cup, and like you said, why didn't they just throw the body in somewhere, right? But again, if they didn't throw the body, there would be no need for the comic book to be covered in blood, with a name conveniently not being covered in blood. Yeah.
yeah. As Brittany Murphy says, it sets up Diana's episode
Mhm.
next. We see they pull right up on her. They don't even ask her about and if you people seen the clip of the episode, it starts for next week. I think it's for 3 weeks they show the scenes. I don't know how much was gonna happen next week, but
Mhm.
they don't even say anything about the murder. They're like, what do you know about magic? Like this
Mhm.
ask her straight up, like, what do you know about magic?
Right.
So, it's definitely going to go down. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? When it is with this situation. So I can't wait for this. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's get the ranking from everybody in
Mhm.
the chat. Give me the scale of 1 to what can we put this? So what happened?
Ah.
That we could change. Well, scale of 1 to what?
Mm. Well, it was
1
her
to
growth.
1 decapitation.
Decapitations, because I was
All
thinking the
right.
same thing. Yeah, decapitations. Yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10 decapitations, 10 being the best. What do y'all rate this episode at? And what do you rate it at, LMR?
I would I saw an 8. That's the first thing I saw over, like, oh my gosh. I'm thinking, would I give it an 8? It was a lot. I don't think I'm gonna go any lower than an 8, just because we did see her growth, and that made sense. And I did see George, and I did see, you know, there was uh there were things that I liked about it. So I would say 7.5 is not enough. I would say 8. Whoever said 8, yeah, I like that too. 9 too high for me, but I think 8. Too
You
many
know,
inconsistencies for me.
I'm gonna go 8.5.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 8.5. I think it was a good episode. I want to see more of the time traveling stuff and everything, but I
Hmm.
was not disappointed with anything else that they shot. That's the only thing that disappointed me is just my expectations just a little bit more, and
Hmm.
than they actually put out there. I would like to see a little, but I don't think they've had anything under an 8 in this whole series so far.
Yeah.
And every
Yeah.
episode, every episode so far has set me up to make me want to watch the next episode,
Oh yeah.
which I think is the most important
Yep.
thing when you have a TV show. That you want to come back and watch it, and I want to come back and watch it, and I want to be here with you, and I want to be here with everybody in the chat. You have
Hmm.
so many great people now, so many new people, and so many great people that come out here and watch all this stuff. And I see you, Ninja Kick. That's right. I am Dragon Master. I understand that. That's it. Get it right. You know what I mean? JT616 says, it hit me in the personal feels. I feel you on that without a doubt. Jess says here, yeah, I like Hippolyta's story. I love the story. I thought the story was good. I wanted more of her story.
Hmm.
That's the only thing I have to say bad about it is I just wanted more.
Hmm.
And I don't think that's bad to say it. I just liked it so much I wanted more. And like that. Kaylee says every episode makes me want to watch it again. I could watch I
Hmm.
think I have watched every episode at least twice. so far in this season. So I think that it is very good and stuff like
You know,
that.
it makes me sad thinking that I know we still have three more, but I'm thinking when they said there are three more, I'm like, oh no, how long do we have to wait for the next season? Like, what are they gonna do? Like, is it gonna be a year again? No. Okay, I'm gonna be positive. We have three more. I'm gonna enjoy the three more that we have.
It is sad that it seems like it seems like we're just getting started and it's about to end.
Right?
And it's about to end.
Yeah.
Only 3 more episodes. We got 3 more weeks, but I hopefully,
Mhm.
when it's all said and done, we are going to do theories about next season and
Mhm.
everything else, and we're gonna keep it going. We're not gonna end when it ends. We're gonna see what we can get right and see if we try to predict what's
Yeah.
going to happen next season and everything else. And they better have a season 2. I would think it warrants a season 2. I would think it got enough views. Sorry. To warrant a season 2. So hopefully we get a season 2 and they don't pull a Watchmen. Even though I do believe that Watchmen is going to have a next season. I think they're negotiating the contract. That's the reason why they
Mm.
haven't gotten it done. But I think Watchmen will be coming out again like that. So we have any questions in the chat? We are here to take them right at this particular time. Any questions from anybody in this chat and everything? Is there season 2 greenlit already from Bernie L? No, not that I know of. I've not heard of it being great. Next week, Mr. Robinson says next week is Emmett Till. Sadly, I do believe you're correct that next week will be Emmett Till. It won't be a good thing to see that. I don't know how far they're gonna go deep. They're gonna go into the Emmett Till. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I do believe it's. I'm not looking forward to seeing that at all. It said Tam said, "Did you see the scar on George's stomach?" I didn't. I seen him cover it up though. I did see that when the blanket was moving his stomach, he kept covering it up. So maybe that's why he was covering up. Did you catch the scar on George's stomach?
No, no, but I the only scar that I remember was from on Montrose's face, but maybe that's how actors, how
Yeah, that's just his face.
yeah,
His
yeah.
face is just scarred up and stuff like that. We got a question from Teo. Teo, it says, if you could transcend space and time, what would you become, Omar? If you could transcend space and time, what would you become?
Oh my gosh, I don't want to live anywhere in the past. It depends on I don't want to. I think that the time and space. I am actually happy in the times I'm in right now. Anything back then for women, no, no. With my knowledge currently, I don't want to be anywhere where there's no technology.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I don't want to go anywhere, but it wasn't good for black people back then. I wouldn't have survived back then. I would have definitely been killed because I had a big mouth. I hit people, so they would have definitely killed me. So
Yeah,
I would
I'm too crazy to. Yeah.
I would the future.
Mm,
That's it. Only way I would go back is if I could know all the lottery winnings of the lottery and
right.
who wins what games, and I could pull a Biff and go back there with a sports almanac and just make bets. That's the only reason I
Yeah.
would go back in the day. You know what I mean? But listen, the 70s would seem to be fun at some point, just for the stuff that they got away with, the Quaaludes and everything else and all that. Did seem like it's a great time, free love and all that stuff, but
Mhm.
it wasn't that good for black
Mhm.
people. So.
And I don't want to be anywhere else in the past because I'm not a person who would do well because I am very yeah, defiant. Let's just say this way. I wouldn't do well. I would not be happy. And then even if let's say someone says, "Well, what if you could be somewhere with some status?" Even people with status had responsibilities that, for women especially, it wasn't fun. I'm actually happy during the times I'm in right now, and I don't know what future holds. So why would I want to be somewhere where it's worse than now? So I'm good where I'm at as
Yeah,
far as time.
Tamara asked, what do you think what the baby means to the show and the Adam and Eve thing?
Oh, wow. Well, the baby, I mean, like you said, the blood, right? His
Yeah,
takes blood.
it's Tick's blood, so I do believe that that's what it comes down to.
Mhm.
Is if they can't get Tick to do, because that's what they wanted to do. He tried to sacrifice Tick, the father, right? Christina's father. That was the whole thing. He wanted to sacrifice him for his bloodline. So I think that the baby could be, if it can't get to Tick, I'll get to your child. and sacrifice the baby, maybe rip it right from his body if possible.
It was burning, right? They were burning the baby, like her stomach was on fire, like as if it
Yeah, like
caught
the
on
baby was
fire.
on fire, like it was being sacrificed somehow.
Yeah.
And that could be like foreshadowing of what they may try to do.
Hmm.
I think when he was on, it was his whole body was on fire.
Yep.
But when she was in her vision, it was just really the stomach that was on fire.
Yep.
So we've seen that kind of already happen with them trying to sacrifice Tick's whole body. Maybe they just trying to, it wasn't her that they were trying to sacrifice. They were trying to sacrifice her baby. So I think it's got something to do with that.
Yeah, hopefully no more Shireen episodes. Shireen type episodes.
Yeah, I don't want to ever see that ever again.
Yeah.
Why do you think Letty didn't tell Tick she was pregnant in her dream?
Maybe she was afraid that she might have been. Like maybe that's on her mind. Maybe that was one of the reasons why she stayed, not just, to maybe if she feels something is wrong with her, or something is off, she decided to stay with her sister and she was spending time with the kids. Maybe she was kind of getting to know, what if I'm pregnant? Let me see this family time. She was there on the floor having fun with the kids, just playing there, getting to know her sister a little, not know, but kind of making things better with her sister. Maybe she was just scared. Plus, back then, could you tell like right away? I think you would have to actually go to the doctor, because I don't know if they had anything like that, like where they could do blood work and stuff. I don't know. So
yeah, I don't think they. I think it's just like
yeah.
you're throwing up because that's why you don't like to smell garlic because you're pregnant. It's this old wife tale and
Nah.
things like that. I think that's people. But I think that she didn't tell a couple of reasons. I think maybe
Yeah.
she thought maybe it could have scared him away. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
we've seen him react like that before for certain things. So, maybe she thought it could scare him away if she was that man. And I seen someone in the chat just say she could have still been in denial. I think it could have been a denial situation too, without a doubt.
AK
Oh,
is asking about the scar. I did not catch that.
did you catch the scar on Hippolyta? It was near her left breast. I wonder what it means. I did not catch this. So she has a scar on her left breast. Her husband has a scar on his stomach. Tick has a symbol on his back.
Yeah. I wonder what that symbol is. I need to zoom in on it next time I watch it.
I'm gonna watch it back. I'll watch it back again, and then we'll get into all these scars. But scars, with the scar, when you look at a scar, and you think about a scar, it means, obviously there's a wound there, some type of wound. It's on the belly of George. That could be, you want to go into craziness. That's his Tick's father belly right there. So it could be some type of thing referring to his baby, something like that. Tick's baby, if you really wanted to get infoily with it and stuff like that.
But didn't he say? Like yeah, I'm sorry, Tony. Go ahead.
No, that's all right.
The whole scar thing, like, wasn't there something about him actually being caught in like a fight or something? And then that's why he didn't want her to go in the first place. Because again, that was in the first episode, and I only watched it I think twice. But like, wasn't there something that he actually was attacked and actually something happened to him? I wonder if that's it or not, or if it's something not related to anything.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I have to really go back and watch again. This is initial reactions, just watching it live, and then everything, and coming on here and just shooting what we got. Every time I get a chance to watch it again, then that's when I do the review, the promo review, I'll have watched it again, and then that's why I'm able to do better predictions for the promo than I am for this. But it was just I thought it was a great episode. I'm so happy about it. Sydney Taylor, I forgot today was Sunday. I'm at work, so I need to bounce before I get spoiled. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're about to bounce ourselves, Sydney Taylor, so you don't have to. We're gonna be out with you. But before we do, if you can, please, as tradition, Teflon TV, Laying It Down podcast. If you can, rep your hood. Please put in the comment section where you are from. I will highlight as many of these comments as I can, so everyone can know that you're worldwide. You don't gotta put the exact address; just gotta put your wherever you repping. The Don Tony Teflon always reps Queens, New York. That's where I'm from. That's what I'm repping. LMR is repping LIL. L.
Yep.
That's where
Illinois.
that's where she rep
Mm-hmm.
from and all that. I want to thank everybody for coming out here and everything else. Let's go through a couple here. John Haymaker, El Monte, California. We got right here Regina, the Regime, the Great. Sorry, Regina. I ain't got my I'll put my glasses on.
There we go.
All right, I'm with the Regime. Let me go back up and see what this is. All right, Regina the Great, Harlem, New York. Edward Martin, Fresco, Cali. Kathy, Mira, thank you. Well, thank you. Is that a doll, a Barbie doll? I think so.
I think so. Yeah. Yep.
I think so. It made me think of Team America. Mod Mary, Houston, Texas. Chrissy of Old Stones, Queens, New York. Queens, we in the building, baby. Trini Baby Strong, Long Beach, Cali. What is she sipping in that straw? Figure that out.
Delicious.
Don Lee is repping Akron, Ohio. Up in the building. Tam Wiggins. Good point. Okay. I guess I should be looking at these things before I pull them up. Teo, sending love from North Cali. I think that. I thought it was North Kakalaka, but North Cali. Miss Swift, aka Pendragon 21, New England. Tam Wiggins, Virginia. Let's go down. We got some more people down here. Brittany Murphy. Every time I think of Brittany Murphy, like Charlie Murphy. Atlanta, Georgia. I'm sure that has happened to her 1,000 times in her life now. JTS616, Savannah, Georgia. You were Georgia. Only in one spot. Detroit into the house. Tomorrow is repping ATL, baby. Hotlanta is in the Eagle Point, Oregon. I mean, I think maybe the only person in the chat that's repping Oregon. Shout out to Oregon out there. Right here. We got Sergio repping, what is that? Henniker? North
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire? I got a friend out in New Hampshire. My man Dustin lives out there.
Nice.
Go out there. It's not bad out there. No taxes and stuff. And Branch, Cleveland, Ohio. Kathy Mir, San Antonio, Texas. Just say something, Kathy Mir. I don't know. Queen RN444, Jacksonville, Florida. Virginia, thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't have my glasses on. I would have got you. Kiki is repping Texas. Carla Wade, all the way from Australia.
Nice.
Tammy Han, Michigan. I think we did Brittany Murphy. Did we do that? Brittany Murphy in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
I think we did that. And Kingston, New York for Bernie L. You know what I mean? That is what it is. I think we got just about everybody right here. Vanessa is repping Connecticut, and right there. And Dietrich Johnson, Virginia Beach. Thank everybody. I'd like to thank all y'all for coming by. And I would say this, the last video, I told you anytime my video hits 400 likes, I'll give away a $25 Netflix gift card. The video did hit 400 likes, the last one, so I definitely will do that in the next promo video. If you left a comment on that video, you have a chance to win. I will announce the winner of that, and then from now on, I will announce the winner on this live stream.
Nice.
After that, we'll do the live stream. We'll give it away right there on the live stream and all that stuff. And we'll see you next week. So look forward to seeing the promo trailer video. Explain. I'll drop that this week, probably not tomorrow, the day after. Usually Tuesday it comes out. And we'll be here again next week. We got more people than we had before. And if you need your fix before that, I would say before we get back out there and you need to look at stuff, I think the Creatives Guild will have a show. Usually I think that's on Tuesday nights. AK47 may have a video. I know she did a video with Monero Geek TV. She may go to Alicia Kingston. They may do another one. Something else can be coming out there. But, look around. Check out everyone. As I said, support everybody. As long as everybody supports everybody, we can all grow together. That's all it's really about and everything else. You know what I mean? So if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, please spread this across the realm, and please subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace.
And stay sexy.